All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Green Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time is to return for my transfer rumor show Eagle Eye, where I discuss some of the rumors surrounding Arsenal, usually Arsenal transfer targets, but Arsenal rumors generally. And let's get into it because I've not done one in a few days, so I've got a lot of news to catch up on. Let's talk about the bid that's been reported in a lot of papers at the moment. I knew we were interested in him, but I'm actually more intrigued by the fact that we've actually gone ahead and bidded for this kid, and that is Alexis Claude-Maurice. Alexis Claude-Maurice. Now, you're probably doing your best Conor McGregor impression, and I would be with you because I ain't got a clue. I'm not going to even try and pretend like I've heard of this guy, I know what he's about, or anything like that. But I know that our unofficial feeder club, Lorient, is who he plays for. The same Lorient team which we got Guendouzi from last season, who are currently in La Liga 2. Alexis, not Sanchez, Maurice, is a 20-year-old attacking midfielder who plays for Lorient for the Liga 2 team, Lorient. And he scored 14 goals and 4 assists last season, or this close season, which is all right. But to be perfectly honest, my big ass can score 14 goals in the Liga 2. So I don't know how impressed I am. I don't really know what to think, to be fair. But for Arsenal to this, I mean, I was very reliably told by an informant of mine, shall we say, that Arsenal transfer business was actually being put on hold until after the Europa League, just so we can almost know what we're dealing with in terms of money and what we're dealing with going forward. But it seems like we're pretty committed to this kid. I know I think the attitude from a lot of people who do rate Guendouzi is, well, Guendouzi turned out all right, so let's go and get this guy. And obviously, before Guendouzi, we obviously got Laurent Koscielny from Laurent as well. So they are a little bit of a feeder side for us. They rejected a lot of money for this unproven kid, though. They rejected supposedly 7 million from us, and Arsenal are actually ready in a second bid. So Arsenal have pretty much laid it on the line. They said, all right, this is the guy that we want. Can play attacking midfield, can play on the right-hand side, can also play as a number 8, but that number 10 role is seen as a role where he's very successful in. So watch this space, I guess. Looks like Agent Guendouzi was on a tap-up mission with Alexis, and it seems to have, I won't say it seems to work because we've had a fucking bid rejected, but it seems like Arsenal are on the case with Alexis Maurice, not Sanchez. Right, so let's talk about a few other stories. Speaking of agents and previous players that we got last season that we seem to be ironing up their clubs, it seems as though, let me get the story up. Outing the Sampdoria duo Joachim Anderson and Dennis Parrott. Now, Dennis Parrott, I like the player a lot. Anderson, I'll be honest, I haven't really had an opportunity to look at him a lot. I think that defenders who are playing the Italian league, it's always worth having a look at Italian defenders. Don't know why we don't do it enough. Don't get me wrong. Before anyone says, I think he's Danish. He's not actually Italian, but I'm talking about defenders that play in that league. It should be something that we do more often. I'm not overly impressed by Anderson from little bits and bobs I have seen of him. And when I say bits and bobs, I do mean bits and bobs. He looks okay, looks pretty comfortable on the ball, likes a pass. Dennis Parrott, on the other hand, yeah. Oh, Parrott. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm about that life. I'm definitely about that life. 25 years old. Very, very good on the ball. Good central midfielder. This excellent passer. Just likes moving the ball about. So you can see they're looking at Ramsey replacements. Maybe they're not entirely convinced that internally we can do it. And I think it's always good at keeping an eye out on your options and seeing what's about. My gut feeling is I don't see us moving for either of these two. That's my gut feeling. I'll be honest. I don't think Anderson, from what I've seen, is that good. Parrott, I think, will cost too much money. So I don't see us moving. Or I see us attempting a little small maneuver, getting shut down by Sampdoria, and then going about our business, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, so Arsenal are scouting these two. That is a thing. Another thing, which I suppose this is kind of two separate stories that kind of link together, is that Laurent Koscielny has announced a couple of days ago, or I say announced, a story broke that he was stalling over a new deal. I don't think Arsenal have offered a new deal. That's the one part of the story I think is bullshit. I don't think Arsenal have offered a new deal. I honestly think he's probably just thought to himself, listen, I've got a year to go. I'm 33 years old. I barely got through this season. And mind you, a season that started halfway through the season as it is, maybe I should look at my options. And to be honest, I think that's clever. I do. I think that's clever. I actually was always convinced he'd move back to France. I still think that will probably happen. But supposedly Bayern Munich are very interested. Bayern Munich, if only. Bayer Leverkusen are interested in signing Koscielny. I always thought Koscielny wouldn't stay past this summer. So I think that this story has some kind of legs. Maybe not the club, but I do think mentally he's preparing himself to not be here this year. A stark contrast to another defender who's committed to staying no matter what, Squadron Mustafi. So it just shows you with Koscielny, fair play to him. Fair play to him. He's probably thinking to himself, you know what? If we win the Europa League and I leave this side out, what a way to sign off my Arsenal career as captain, lifting the trophy, a European trophy at that. Yeah, I can live with that. And he'd probably ride off into the sunset. And fair play to him if he does. So Laurent Koscielny, I think we'll probably end up leaving, to be honest. And then I suppose that brings me to my other story, now main story. Now, people have noticed that I've deliberately not really commented too much about Samuel Umtiti. Just because I didn't know how genuine the story was. And I think now with this evening's news on United getting closer and closer to signing De Ligt, I actually think the story is more and more unlikely. But supposedly, prior to this to this evening's story about De Ligt, if obviously Koscielny left, that'd be a big gaping hole in theory. Someone like Samuel Umtiti is a perfect person to slip in there and replace him. Big French guy, the excellent defender when he's on form, when there's no injuries. He's a fantastic defender. Fantastic defender. The thing that is making everybody think, whew, is the price. You know, I've seen some papers claim 43. If it'd be a miracle if we get him for 43. I think it'll be a miracle if we got him for 50. Supposedly Barcelona would be prepared to hear 44 million. Some are saying 50 million. I think 50 million plus is what we're looking at if we were to get him. But when there's no injuries, the guy is a fantastic defender. For everybody that is bitching about how, where is our Virgil van Dijk? This is that guy. When there are no issues. The problem is he has a gammy knee. And I know a lot of people worry about the attitude. And, 25 years old, you're young, you're dumb, innit? But that's kind of, who hasn't made a mistake when they're younger? I don't hold it too much against them. I know a lot of people are a little bit like, yeah, but he was arguing with Barcelona about the best way to treat it, and it seems to have made it worse. And yeah, yeah, it's stupid, but I don't look at it as a disciplinary issue. To me, I don't think it's and I'm more concerned by, say, someone like a Rabiot, who I'll get to that story in a second, than I am about an entity's attitude. Yes, it was silly. You should have followed medical advice. You live and you learn, innit? And I think he'll learn from that, grow from that. And if he stays at Barca, I think he'll continue to flourish. Excellent defender, but to be perfectly honest, I see about as much legs on this as I did when we were being linked with that fucking winger. Ah, I forgot the name of that winger. The name has completely escaped me. Getting old, but yeah, basically him. So to me, I don't see this being much of a story. Chatter, I'm not looking at you yet. I'm going to come to you in a sec. I can't imagine too many of you in there. So it's a Saturday evening. Should be unlike me on a bank holiday and be out and about. But if you're in, just make sure you hit that like button. Please, please, please hit that like button. Let's go to my next story. Speaking of defenders. So Arsenal are being linked with Reading defender. Yeah, you probably didn't think I was going to talk about this guy. But Reading defender Daniel Loader. Daniel Loader, English guy. It's been well known that Arsenal are looking for English talent, given the new rules about having English players as part of the quota. And we're losing a lot of British talent in the sense that obviously we've lost Jack. Ramsey walked out the door. Okay, he's not English, but he's British. I don't know if he's counted on that homegrown thing. So I guess Arsenal are looking to kind of almost refill that quota. We've obviously in recent years lost Theo, lost Jack. Probably going to be losing Carl Jenkinson. So I think someone like a kind of Danny Loader slipped into that mold pretty well, actually. See little bits and bobs of him. I do occasionally watch the Championship. He's one of the kind of stronger players of the Championship. Very, very good dribbler. Tends to play as a kind of a centre back, but can play as a defensive midfielder as well. Good passer, likes his through balls, strong on the ball considering. My only worry with him, and I suppose this will develop more with age, is he does lose a lot of how can I put it, aerial battles, for the want of a better word. Like he does, I've seen him lose a couple of like little headers and stuff like that. He's not that big as well. So I think it's worth bearing in mind, but it is also worth bearing in mind he's 18 years old. So a lot of growing to do this way and this way. So I think there's nothing wrong with a signing like this just in general. I think you should always invest in your youth. But this is not someone who's going to be ready to step into the first team anytime soon. For me, this is an under-23 signing. But I'm all for it. I'm all for it. For me, he's a good little player. Likes to be on the ball. And I think defenders that are football defenders or ball-playing defenders are a rarity. And I think when you do find one, develop one. You know me, man, without trying to sound like some sort of nonce for the better expression, I do like my younger players. I do like the kids. So I think for me, I'm all for investing in the future. And if this guy is it, then so be it. So be it. On to the next one. So Arsenal, let's talk about some sales and some outgoings. Arsenal supposedly have made Mkhitaryan almost their number one target to sell. Funny enough, a question was asked on Twitter: if I could only sell 4 players, who would they be? And I said straight up, my 4 players would be Mesut Ozil, it'd be Granit Xhaka, it'd be unsurprisingly Spodra Mustafi, and it would be Mkhitaryan, because for me, those four players are either A, the most expensive, or B, would be the type of assets you would look to sell in order to raise funds. And I think, regardless of what happens on Wednesday, we'll be looking to raise funds. So I like to hear the fact that we're talking about selling Mkhitaryan. I feel for him that he's not able to go to Baku, but other than that, to be perfectly honest, I think his entire run as an Arsenal player has been a flop. His entire run in English football has been a flop. 6 goals in 39 games this season. And let's be real, 5 of those goals was in the one good month he had for Arsenal. To me, it's just not been good enough. Been a total disappointment. And yeah, if we're able to let him go, let's let him go. So yeah. No one being linked with him at the moment. But I know that the last time we were thinking about selling Mkhitaryan, Dortmund were sniffing around to rebuy him. I'm hoping they come back in. Speaking of outgoings, Arsenal striker Danny Welbeck looks like he's set to join Everton this summer. Obviously, he's back in training and is actually expected to make some kind of appearance on Wednesday, which would be nice for him. The feeling is that he wants to stay in England. He doesn't want to move abroad, despite the fact that there are some teams abroad that are looking at him and would be happy to take him, particularly in Germany. But he wants to stay in England. A lot of interest in England. West Ham were after him. Newcastle were after him. Palace were after him. I thought Palace might be a good move for him, to be fair. And Wolves were after him. But it looks like he's going to go with Everton and reunite with Theo Walcott. So, yeah. Building quite a little Arsenal reject team. Next story. I told you, I'm not messing around with the stories today. So Arsenal are being linked with a hijack move. I haven't also the hijack anymore. Come on now. But supposedly Arsenal are readying a bid. It's a free transfer. I don't know. A contract offer, I guess, for PSG midfielder Adrien Rabiot. Now, for those of you who watched my Chicken Knows Best video series, in particular midfielders, I did mention Rabiot as one of my hot 5. My worry with Rabiot is not talent. The kid is talented as fuck, but it is attitude. See, for me, yes, I think Intiti displayed some bad judgment when he talked about how he wanted his knee to be treated. With Rabiot, there are good 3 or 4, maybe 5 different instances where this kid has done some wild shit where you're like, damn, he can't be controlled, man. So, but this is a good player. And just talent for talent, talk about a fucking upgrade on Aaron Ramsey. Let's be real here. We're just basing it on talent. Excellent player, 24 years old. And to be fair, as a 24-year-old who is talented, and you're getting him for free, yeah, all right, you're going to have to pay him a lot of money, but you're getting him for free. That's an asset. And let's be real, this is the way these Arsenal people are thinking. They're probably thinking, all right, well, we'll get him for free. There's a couple of good seasons where he does really well. Knowing what he's like, he's a bit of a contract rebel. So when he doesn't get any more money that he's looking for, they're probably going to look to sell him in 2 years' time. Let's be real here. That's the way they're fucking thinking. You heard it here first if Arsenal actually signed Rabiot. I predict we sell him within 2 to 3 years. If it's a 5-year contract, we'll sell him in 3. If it's a 4-year contract, we'll sell him in 2. The way these Arsenal people work. They look at him and thinking, cha-ching, asset. So don't be surprised if Arsenal do make a really genuine, serious play for him. Speaking of central midfielders, Arsenal are also supposedly, I'm more skeptical about this one, supposedly interested in hijacking another Man United target, and that is Thomas Partey, from the defensive midfielder from Atletico Madrid. Supposedly, we're readying a £43.5 million deal. I'm going to say bullshit. There ain't no way that's happening. No way. You're going to spend that money, you might as well spend it on Intiti. At least it's a defender. At least it's a defender we actually need. So yeah, I immediately saw that story. I thought I'll mention it just so that people know I'm aware the story exists. But I'm saying no, I don't see it happening. But yeah, supposedly we're ready in a bid. But I like the fact that Arsenal at least look like they're active. They're trying to see what they can get and see what's out there, and almost putting the feelers out there. So apparently, Arsenal are there's still stories about Arsenal and Hakim Ziyech. In spite of all of the clubs interested in him, including English, Liverpool, and United, Arsenal are actually the favourites to get him. Not just because he actually wants to come to us, but supposedly our style of football. Not that we particularly have a style of football these days, but he's always been, he likes the style of football. And obviously, everyone who's seen us, seen that video where he's talked about Arsenal being a dream club, but that is important. So, yeah, there's an expectation that if Arsenal make a move, they'll get it. I think, and I've said this before, and I'll say this again: in an ideal world for Arsenal, they get rid of him and they buy him. Not because I'm saying that, but I think they see him as a number 10, and maybe someone like a Ryan Fraser, they could see play him on the right-hand side. So I think that will probably end up being the move. People don't want to hear that because they love Mesut Ozil, or at least some people do. But I think that's most likely what's going to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I'm talking about today. What do you guys think of the story so far? I hope you've also pressed the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is what I do. I talk about transfer stories from time to time, not often enough. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more often for you guys now. Let's take a trip into the chat room and see who's about. Oh, sorry, you probably just heard me there. But yeah, let's see who's in the chat room. Let's see who's about. Let's see who's about on a Saturday evening. See, Ryan is active in the chat. Okay. Hit the like button for real. There's 81 people, 19 likes. Something clearly is not going on. Yeah, I heard about Maguire going to City, Lord Bruce. To be honest, Maguire was never moving from that sort of area. There's some people that like just being in the north, and Maguire is one of those guys. That's a lot of the reason Danny Rose wanted to leave Spurs. What was it, 2-3 years ago? He wanted to go back up north because he's from Leeds. But yeah, so when people started linking Arsenal with Harry Maguire, I was like, no chance. Even if we had the dough. Adam Denley, I'm good, brother. I hope you're all right. Fuck no, I don't want Rabiot. I'm kind of with you, Boris. I must admit, I don't want anything to kind of mess up the harmony in the change room. So yeah, I am kind of with you there. How's the tab? VP, just to show you I wasn't bullshitting you. No advertising. I genuinely got it. So thank you, VP. I'm gonna be properly doing a lot of editing. Adam Denley, Chick, do you reckon anyone want to work with Rabiot again? Supposedly they don't get on, Adam Denley. That's why I'm a bit surprised by the story. So we'll see. Ozil out, Zurich in. I'm with you, Amraj. I'm with you. Ray, Chick, remember that all you're talking about is paper talk, not official. But I love to hear what the papers are talking about. Ray, that's what all these transfer. Listen, that's what all these transfer rumor shows are about. It's not just paper talk. It's internet talk. It's Twitter talk. It's as Arsenal fans. One of the things I loved about doing the show, right? So I love doing transfer shows because for me, as an Arsenal fan, this isn't just a couple of years since I've had the channel thing. For the last 10 years, I can't describe to you how often I go onto an Arsenal web, whether it's Arsenal forum, whether it's Twitter, whether it's literally typing Arsenal transfer news into Google, whether it's going onto the gossip websites. How often I just want to hear that Arsenal are doing something, even if I have to lie to myself that Arsenal are doing something just to get me through the summer. That's what being an Arsenal fan is. So yeah, for me, I'm with you. I get it. It's paper talk, but it's the paper talk where sometimes I need to blind myself from the idea that Arsenal are going to spend money. So even if I need to read something, it's that kind of it's you know what it is. It's like when you watch a film and you immerse yourself into that film. You know it ain't real, but you immerse yourself into it. You suspend disbelief. That's what reading transfer rumors is like for an Arsenal fan. Definitely hit that like button, Alan. Big up, big up. 25 likes, 77 people watching. I know it's a Saturday night. It takes you 2 seconds. Please, people, thank you. The Titty is too injury prone, so I wouldn't want to take it. It's difficult, Omar, because you're right. He is. He is. But he's 25 years old, and I'm telling you, he's a talent. I'm telling you now, he's so good. He's so good. But you're right, it is the injury that makes you think, ooh, what the heck? But why would Barca sell if he was that good, even if he is injured? So it's a catch-22. I hope we don't spend the bank on him. Let's put it that way. Thank you, VP, once again. Amraj, no, you're welcome, my brother. No problem. Lewis, has anyone heard news on the new keeper? Need a decent backup to check. So, Lewis, you're not a fan of Martinez, no? I'm not either. I just was curious. Ideal Ramsey replacement. I did a video series on this, but ML Smith Rowe. Want to know why? Go to my Chib Knows Best playlist, and you'll find out why. Yeah, I know that's why I love the show's transfers. There you go, Ray. There you go. You think it can step? I want to see more Saka. I also don't want us to rush him too tough. That is a raw talent, and I want to see what he does. I want him to nurture and develop more. So yeah, we'll see. You potentially, yes. There's definitely a talent there. Dream signings to make successful in this if we talk about dream signings, Koulibaly, Ben Chilwell, a good goalkeeper as backup to Leno. My man from Lyon as defensive midfielder. A good young striker, could be anyone. Pepe. Yeah, I think that covers it, don't it? Yeah. And then Rabiot minus the attitude. But talent-wise, he'd be a dream signing. Because the attitude is like, Thank you, Amraj. Thank you. 32 likes. We're getting there. But that means if there's 82 people, that means 50 likes are missing. So what's going on here, people? Come on. Drive them likes up. Bruce, Air is Guna. Hey, Chig, love the channel. How are you feeling about the final gets closer? So, Bruce, I'm doing a show with Ola and Lee tomorrow. I'll answer that question, especially for you then. I'll answer that question then. Martinez is about 25, 26 now. Yeah, young for a goalkeeper, though, right? Young for a goalkeeper. I'd like to have a look at him. Chig, I am having rum. I am having rum, VP. I am. Who's your Koscielny replacement? For me, it would be Dunk. There's a big 27-year-old unit of a player. Duncan Holding in that defense. Yes, please. I'd be well up for that. I'm with you there, dude. Let's bring back Tony Adams to help with back four. Real talk. Agreed, Alan. You want Zaha, yeah? I'm not convinced about Zaha, brother. Big up to J Rob for the €2 donation. I know you're a regular listener of mine and Lee's. So big up to you, brother. And look at him, even drilling the thumbs up. That's double duty right there. The donation and the thumbs up. Shit. Thank you, brother. And yes, his attitude does suck. His attitude does suck. His attitude does suck. Pepe or Sa? I saw you ask this to Lee or ask something similar to Lee in his chat earlier. I like Sa a lot. I like Sa a hell of a lot more than Lee does. But Pepe, man. Sa is still a talent that needs to be worked on. Pepe's ready to go, brother. He's ready to go. What are your thoughts on Freddie Rumour being promoted to the first team coach setup? All for it. All for it. I said it 2-3 months ago that I think it's interesting that Steve Bold is the only surviving member from the regime last season. And if you really wanted a fresh start, get rid of him. I'm not blaming all our defensive woes on him, but I think you need a clean break from that. Freddie seems to have some coaching talent. He's an Arsenal man as well. Promote him. You got to be, if you're a big club, you got to make big decisions. And behind the scenes should be no different. Ryan, what are your thoughts? Yeah. Maguire or Dunk? Dunk. And I'll tell you why. Maguire is the better player, but Dunk is better value for money, I think. There's no way Dunk is going for more than 20. So I think Dunk. Pepe all day. Pepe's an Arsenal fan, is he? I've not heard that before. Apparently, he don't mess about, get stuck in training. Who's that, Ryan? Oh, Freddie, you mean? Yeah, that's what I like about him. That's what I like about him. All the Arsenal players, all these players are Arsenal fans because of Wenger. Okay. Big Arsenal fan. I would take Freddie in a heartbeat. What's the score with Arsenal's FFP with offloading? I think, Adam, to be honest, the one thing that our FFP will always be good. Because Arsenal from day dot are that team that we don't, when do we go crazy on players? People are still today talking that, well, Arsenal do buy players. 2 years ago, they bought Aubameyang and Lacazette back to. All right, that was 2 fucking years ago. We went. We'll be cool. Trust me on that one. But I think with all the people that are heading out anyway, without us selling anyone, in addition to getting rid of Mkhitaryan, I still think Ozil will go. I think something will happen there. I think the board are desperate to get rid of his wage. Hopefully, please God, Mustafi goes. If it was up to me, but I suspect he won't go, it's Granit Xhaka. I'd sell his punk ass. Just let them all go. And I think you're all right. You've raised funds and you've cleared the books. VP, when am I coming to the US? Soon, my brother. Soon. It probably won't be your size, though. It'd be Vegas. I heard Lee talking to you the other day, by the way. I hope you're all right. I hope you and your family are all right. I know you went through, what was it, floods? So, yeah, sorry about that, brother. I hope you're cool. But, yeah, to answer your question, soon, man. Soon. We'll do 5 more minutes and then I'm bouncing. Ozil going to China, I hope. I think, Alan, that's the only way. I think that's the only way it would get him off the books. He goes to China. And I don't see him going to China. So I don't know what we're going to do. Do you think we should give Nelson a chance next season? Yes, I do. But I don't think we should start him. I think he should earn his way into the team. So giving some cameo roles. If only we don't have a self-sustaining model, we're basically giving the team a head start. I know, right? But Bruce, don't even get me started. This is why me and Lee, we can't talk about this because we're on the complete opposite ends of that scale. Like we're not prepared to listen to each other on this subject. So me and Lee literally have said, all right, we can't discuss this. Because I'm all for a self-sustaining model, but not this way. Not this way. I am in Canada. Oh, okay, big up Canada. I never know how to feel because I always wanted to visit Canada. And I've heard people say, yeah, oh no, you're black, I don't know. I've always got the impression that Canada is cool to the black people. So I don't know. So Alan, you let me know. Am I safe to go to Canada? Ozil is our bail. He ain't leaving. I know, right? He's straight doing the Gareth Bale. I ain't leaving nowhere. Yeah, all good. Are you Christian, Chip? Am I a Christian? Yeah, I am. I am, brother. Not a preachy one, but I am. Lord Barus Ozil will run his contract down while his fanboys keep backing him up, right? Mustafi going to AC. I hope so, Aaron. Vegas is good fun if you want to lose all your money. I've been before, VP. Trust me. I know. The Dove. Identify the germs as source instead of other clubs getting them. Right? I'm with you. Blems, I'm wondering what you just retracted. I didn't see it. Wouldn't it be smart to get a big one position? Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying. I think we'll promote youngsters though. Listen, to get the stories you're seeing, truth be told, I think we'll get maybe 3 players, possibly 4. I think the rest are going to be promoted. So watch this space. Are you doing a watch along on Wednesday? Yep. For what it's worth, because I know that AFTV will be doing one because they just straight hijacked my idea. But yeah, I'll be doing one, so I'm hoping you guys join me for that. I moved to Canada from 99 from Wrexham. You would love Canada. Yes, but I'm trying to say I'm black. Am I safe to go to Canada, though, bro? That's what I'm trying to say. Big question. Is 40 million transfer budget a way for teams to get? Do you know what? I did think that there is, but now I don't think that. I actually think that's what we're rocking with. Wagwan. I can't even pronounce your name, but Wagwan to you too. Like, is it a hoax? I doubt it. Oh. Well, Adam, preach on. I wouldn't mind listening to you. I know others would. Are we seriously going to spend 40 million this summer? Uh, Time will tell. Honestly, time will tell. How many languages do you speak? Canada soccer, not enough. I'll tell you what, Canada soccer, you can let me know. Am I safe to go to Canada? Because Alan below you has just said yes. So am I safe to go? Raymond Jess, watching from Cyprus. Aspel fan. Go further than you lot and okay. We need to get back to the Champions League. Start even talking shit. So all right, talk shit away. We need to make one marquee signing. I couldn't care less about marquee signings. Just make good signings. Make suitable signings. You know, one painful thing about being an Arsenal fan is that we've so many times been in a position where we've needed a defender and then bought a fucking striker. Or needed a midfielder and then bought a defender. Or needed a midfielder and bought a goalkeeper. Like, let's just buy for the positions we actually need. That's my thing. Realistic transfers. Lewis Dunk. Doherty from Wolves. To be fair, theoretically, Rabiot is a realistic signing. Ziyech from Ajax, who I keep butchering. Honestly, I think it gets worse and worse every time I say his name. Hakim Ziyech from Ajax. My man has more or less said, "Come and get me." Do you know I was expecting him to come out a couple of days later and say, "Yeah, that was then. This is now. I'm open to whatever." But he's basically said, "Arsenal's my dream club," and Arsenal, as per usual, are sitting on their hands. So it is what it is. Yeah, I think those are realistic signings. All right, I'm doing a lean now. I keep saying 5 minutes every 5 minutes. So 11:30, I'm out. 11:30, I'm gone. 11:30 UK time. Uh, we need Zayat. We should avoid La Liga defenders. Lord Berus, I know it's so bad. I'm kind of with you. I said this to Colin the other day, right? I'm weird about Italian league attackers, even though I just said I like Parat, and La Liga defenders, stroke goalkeepers. I'm not convinced. I've got a question for you guys. Would you buy Real Madrid's second keeper as a backup for Chet, as a backup for Leno, whose name has also escaped me? I just had it as well. I've forgotten his name. Arsenal going to get him. So I'm getting a lot of yeses now. Yes, yes, yes. Navas, that's the one. Yes. Who would you ditch first? Xhaka or Collar? Xhaka for me. Xhaka 100%. Jord, have you watched Wolves? They play in a back five or back three. Trust me, I watch Wolves closely this season. Would I keep Kolasinac? I would, only because I wouldn't replace both of my left backs in the same summer. So I'd replace Monreal this summer with the view of more than likely replace Kolasinac next summer. So yeah, that's the way I'd do it personally. He's a good player. Ugandan, sorry. He's a very good player. Very good player. More for Zayat. Saliba. Yeah, but have you seen him play? This is all I keep asking people. Or are you going on paper talk? People liking Navas, yeah? You take Navas. I'll tell you what, let me ask you guys this. Navas or Martinez? Let me ask you guys that. In fact, Navas, Martinez, or Ospina? Let me ask you guys that one. 84 people, 47 likes, something's going people. At least get me over 50. Shit. Get you over 50. Yeah, that shows you DT's knowledge, Alan. That shows you his knowledge. Give Martinez a chance. Okay, so there's a real mix here. Some people are saying Martinez. Some people are saying Ospina. I'm getting Canadian soccer said definitely not Ospina. Chesney, Liam, brother, I'm with you. I'm with you. Only we brought back a buyback clause for Chesney. Lee Gunner is a funny chat. He is a funny chat. Khaled Dome is started. The Duff. I could never understand why teams like Arsenal, United, or any of the top six can't locate youngsters. Like you see at Ajax, Benfica, Lyon. Do you know why? Because there's a different type of pressure on us to play youngsters. There's a pressure on all of their fan bases, not just us, but United as well, Chelsea. Chelsea are ridiculous with it, though. But there's a pressure on us to play established players by established players. Look at us. Look how far off the pace we finished from the top. You know, do you think Arsenal fans are gonna want to hear that Smith Rowe and Nelson are coming back? No, they're gonna want to hear that we're doing something to address our defenders, rightly or wrongly. You know, and don't get me wrong, if Gunnar Michael, shout out to him, he knows this already. If he was a manager, I'm sure there'll be a lot of youngsters playing. But right now, it's about making sure that there is a balance. Don't get twisted. There is a place for youngsters in the team. And quite honestly, some of our youngsters are better than some of our established guys. But we need to sort out what we need to sort out, namely that defense. And Medley may have it, for example, but I ain't trying to give Medley a chance to step in there raw. I want an established defender, if not two, to come in and do a job. So yeah, that's my little rant on that over with. All right, guys, last couple of questions, 3 minutes and I'm out of here. Chambers, Victor. You're going to get me started now. You know, I find funny that people say, you always defend Iwobi. Chambers is the one I defend. I like me some Chambers. I really do. I like me some Chambers. But he's an asset. He just got voted Fulham's best player of the season as well. I like him. I think he's got something. I do. I think he's a good player. And I've said that actually from day one because I can see something in him that I like. I don't like him at right back, but I do like him as a player. And if Arsenal decide to keep him, I wouldn't be mad. But that is an asset that we have that could potentially be worth £20 million. Especially if someone like Palace come in for him. So for me, if the price is right, I'd let him go. But I do like him. I do. Some of my more established subscribers know how much I rate Chambers. Cheap. Benita should have come in the winter. Yeah, maybe. Chambers keep. Thanks, Chig. I'm off. All right, take care, Adam. I'm off too soon. Very, very soon. 2 minutes. Chambers never got a chance, in all fairness. Exactly, Duff. Exactly. I'm all for giving him. VP, I might do because I know that Michael Bisping is supposed to be on Warrior soon. So, yeah, I might watch it. We've lost a few recently, Truth. We've lost a few. Yeah, I know. And Omar, to be fair, I get it. You're not alone. I know a lot of people that aren't convinced by him. Pepe to Juventus, would you be surprised? I wouldn't be surprised. Alan, yeah, I love you, UFC. You've clearly not seen the shows that me and Ola have done together. Me and Ola are well overdue one of those shows. We'll do one soon. Mavropanos doesn't have potential. I'd like to loan him to find out, Liam. Chiefs to Arsenal, 10 million. I'll be worth more than 10 million, motherfucker. You know GSP. I like GSP, yeah. Legend of the game. Wenger to Juve manager. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, Ryan. What up, Mr. Travis? Mr. Jarvis? All right, people. 90 people on 53 likes. Something going on. Something's amiss there. So do drive up those likes. Guys, just to let you know, and I'm going to make this announcement on Twitter tomorrow morning, that me, Ola, and Lee will be doing a preview show, I guess, where we'll be, because I've got something special planned for the actual preview for the final. But for this, me and us are just going to kick it, and we're going to talk purely final, all things Europa League final. So do keep an eye out for that. That will be on Sunday at 7 o'clock UK time, 7 o'clock in the evening. Tomorrow during the day is a bit of a sad day for me. I've got to go to a wake. So yeah, I'm going to be a bit of a somber mood. So make sure in the evening you come and join me and cheer me up a little bit. So yeah, do look out for that show. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I appreciate when you guys give me that love, you know. Also, hit that subscribe button. I am dangerously close to 4,400. If only it was 44,000. 4,400 subscribers. I'm edging ever closer to 5K. I targeted 5K before August. It should be doable. It should be. So the best way of helping me get there is by hitting that subscribe button. And if you already have hit the subscribe button, share it with someone that hasn't. Get my name out there. Also, I'm going to do one of these transfer shows every day over the next week. So usually my time is either just before 9, or I don't like to clash with Lee's show. It usually drops a video around then. Because, you know, that's my boy, innit? I like to be a good friend that way. So I want to work around this video. So either just before 9 or just after 9, I will do a transfer show. So just keep that notification bell on, people, and you won't miss a thing. All right. I am out of here. I've ranted long enough. Take care. Deuces. Bye. Emre in. See you tomorrow.